Hello, my fleshies. Are you in there? Hello? It's time to come out and play. Tonight's story is one that was written just for me. It's called The Phantom Woof. Now, fair warning, it is not that scary of a tale. So for this one, your little ones can listen in. But in the future, that may not always be possible. Pleasant nightmares, everyone. And now, let the story begin. Don't mind me if I change my voice. Fleshy! I recently bought a new home in a quiet suburban area. The house, built in the 1920s, has had a few exterior changes beyond minor repairs. It's perfect for me. After setting in for a week, thunderstorms were predicted for the evening. My grandmother used to say, houses feel different during a good storm, a thought that now lingered in my mind. Around 8:30 p.m., a fierce storm arrived with intense lightning, thunder, rain, and wind. I turned off the television, intending to rest, but not quite fall asleep. Barely 15 seconds had passed when a familiar sound broke the silence. The sound of a dog frantically scratching at the front door. The scratching reminded me of my childhood, when a neighbor's dog would seek refuge at our house during storms. I went to the door expecting to see a dog, but there was nothing there except the downpour and flashes of lightning. As I stood there, I felt something brush against me, as if something had entered the house. I shut the door and returned to the couch, puzzled. Moments later, it felt like something had joined me. Something was on the couch with me. The way a dog might jump up. I could see an impression on the cushion and felt something cold resting against my leg, like a dog's head. I moved to the kitchen to pour a glass of lemonade, trying to convince myself that I was just imagining things. Just then, another loud clap of thunder shook the house, and I heard a whimper. Fear began to creep in, but I reminded myself that it was just a dog. Even if it was just a spirit. I forced myself to sit back down. The whimpering stopped as soon as I did. When the storm passed, I distinctly felt the spirit jump off the couch, though I heard nothing. I saw the impression on the cushion shift to the carpet, compressing the fibers. It seemed the spirit had left. The rest of the night was normal, and I tried to forget about my canine visitor, though the air still felt strange. I struggled to ignore the memory of spending an hour with a ghostly dog resting against me. Sleep was now a challenge. 2 weeks later, another thunderstorm was forecasted, this time with the possibility of a tornado. We were told the storms would arrive around 3 a.m. How fitting, the witching hour. I wasn't too concerned and went to bed at my usual time. At 2:55 a.m., a loud clap of thunder coincided with the now familiar scratching at the door. Guilt compelled me to get up. I opened the door, and as before, felt the dog brush past me, this time with a distinct wet dog smell. I retreated to my room and closed the door. With the next thunderclap, I heard the claws clicking on the hardwood floor in the hallway. They stopped outside my door. I climbed back into bed, but instead of scratching, the spirit began to whine. Unable to ignore it, I led it into my room. "You can't get on the bed," I said, and tried to fall back to sleep. However, another thunderclap woke me as the spirit jumped onto my blanket. I managed to drift off again, and the spirit was calm. Then it moved from one side of the bed to the other, and suddenly it grabbed my arm with its mouth, pulling me off the bed. I stood up and turned on the light and grabbed my phone with my free hand. The dog kept its mouth gently on my hand, guiding me. It led me through the house to the kitchen, and then to the basement stairs. As we descended, my phone alerted me to a tornado warning. A tornado did indeed touch down in the city. I don't know how the spirit knew to wake me, but it might have saved my life. As soon as the storm was over, I sensed the spirit leave. Not too scary, was it, my fleshies? But I think the next one might be a little different, fleshies. The next story is one called Eyes on Me. I hope you enjoyed this little story. Remember, give my friend, the Nature Guy X46, a little bit of love. And if you enjoyed this little story, subscribe, or I may come and visit your house. No, I can't do that. I can't leave my little abode. So you'll just have to subscribe so we can visit each week. I should probably tell you that some stories will be limited to only adults. Don't be mad. Please don't be mad. I will also let you know when we reach 50 subscribers, because then you can visit with me once a week, where we can talk and chat and enjoy each other's company. And who knows, maybe I can even get a bite or two. Remember, if you feel a cold spot, it's just one of my friends coming to visit you. Be afraid. See you next time, I promise, lovelies, my little fleshies. Goodbye.